Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well, I hope you're having a nice day. I want to thank my old subscribers, my new subscribers and my recent subscribers to subscribing to my channel. I can't thank you enough and I am forever grateful. But if you come across any of my content, I mean any, because this channel is a mixed bag of bags. We have got honest conversations, we've got shorts, and I have this beautiful community tab as well. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, if you come across any of my content, I mean any, there is loads. Then there's a wee green subscribe button below. If you press that, you get all my content coming to you whenever I upload. And about that community tab, I drop in, I say hi, I give you BTS and all that lot, and I actually interact with you like you are real humans. And I go hi, I drop in and just give you, updates about things. But if my channel is for you, then there's a wee green subscribe button below. Press that and I hope to see you at my community tab. So I'm just going to get into this one as per usual, and today's vlog is the ugly truth about healing nobody wants to admit. And basically it's about my own experience as per usual, and my experience and my healing journey. It's like I'm speaking about this from my point of view, and why healing is not always positive or it means you're fixed. It's a process and not everyone's linear, and like I said, it gets messy sometimes on the healing journey. Like I say, it's not linear, and people just think, oh, healing's like, oh, you're fixed, you're done, and it's not that. But anyway, let's get into it, shall we? So this is chapter 1, the healing myth. And what I mean by this, well, let me tell you, okay? Everyone's saying healing is beautiful. It can be for some, and it is for some. I'm not negating that from anyone before you come at me. But, here's the ugly truth no one tells you. And healing is not soft, it's not clean, it's not inspirational music and journaling by candlelight. It's basically breakdowns, relapsing, it's crying over things you thought you were done with. And that's the first part of healing. That is the first part of going, actually, you have to break yourself down bit by bit to get through that healing journey. Do you know what I mean? It's I can't speak for everyone. I don't want to speak for everyone. If your healing journey is very positive, grand. If it's like mine, where you've had to rip every inch of you apart to get to where I am today, that's still grand as well. There's no winners or losers here, and we all heal in our own time. Healing hasn't got a time frame. Healing is a process, and like I say, it's good, bad, and sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative, and that is fine. This channel does not judge at all, wherever you're at in your healing journey. So yeah, let's move on. So, chapter 2, the real process. And healing isn't a loop. Some days you feel powerful, other days you feel like you're back at square one. You start questioning if you're actually growing or surviving, and that's normal. Growth feels like chaos before it feels like peace. And it does, because, like I say, you have to have chaos of yourself and oneself before that healing happens. It's like, when people say, oh, put a patch on your wounds, it will soon heal. But what happens if people don't have these wounds, but they're inner scars wounds, and a patch is not going to fix it, and they have to be chaotic before that healing journey starts? Does that make sense? That's what I mean. That is the real process of healing. It's going to be messy, it's going to be chaotic, it's going to, send you places you've never been before. And it's not a bad thing, but some people have to do that, and it's fine. And you know, there is nothing wrong with that. And if you've gone through chaos in your healing journey before the actual healing process of it starts, then, like I said, my channel doesn't judge. We are not here to judge anyone. We are an open, safe space for anybody, no matter what your healing process is or your journey. You know, it's like we've all experienced it, we've all gone through it, and it is fine. Anyway, let's move on. So then, chapter 3, and this is the lonely side of healing. And basically, here's the hardest part, right? That you might lose people. You will. When I've become healing in that process, I've lost people, and there is nothing wrong with that, because sometimes you have to leave behind old people and old friends and acquaintances to get healed. That is the messy part of healing. You have to leave people behind. You know, when you start setting your boundary, not everyone claps. You have to have boundaries in your healing journey. You have to, as it's not going to work. I can tell you that from personal experience. You know, healing forces you to face things that you once avoided, like your own patterns and your own role in your own pain. Like, do you know what I mean? It's when I got sober in 2020 and I got unmasked and I left that double life of imposter syndrome behind, it opened my eyes to who my real friends were. It opened my eyes to not just the people around me, but the negativity I had around me when I was drinking alcohol to mask, and, you know, coming through and admitting to myself years later, you know, it was hard to say it out loud that I am a recovering alcoholic. I was ashamed to say that, and I'm not anymore. And I'm quite proud of where I've come from. It's like, you know, and that's the part of the chaos of healing. It's like you have to admit things like that. You have to say it out loud. You have to leave your old friends behind and old acquaintances, and then, you know, it's chaos in that. And you have to set boundaries, and you have to go, right, if I'm healing, I've got to have boundaries. I've got to leave toxic, old, negative people, acquaintances away, because you're not going to heal. If you have the same people around you and, you know, and you have no boundaries, you are not going to heal. Honestly, you're not. And being sober and unmasked now, I've grown a rhino skin. I've grown a backbone. I've not become the doormat I used to. But within that, of the lonely side of my healing, you know, I did it all alone, as you all know. I did it in lockdown. I isolated myself. I locked myself in, you know. I mean, that was the upside for me. But within that chaos, I had to go, right, here's to rip yourself apart and start again. And I saw things that I'd never thought I'd see. I thought I'd never admit to saying that I was a recovering alcoholic. You know, it's all them things, and it's not something to be ashamed of. And I was screaming it from the rooftops, just like, you know, people go, oh, you don't drink. It's like, no, I don't. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Yeah, but drinking is 0%. Yes, that's why it's on the market for us folks. We don't have two heads. So, you know, it's all different, but it's so hard. You have to face things. You have to, you know, the things that you thought, like your own pattern. I started changing myself for the better, and my patterns started to change within my healings. And, you know, within the healing came the pain, and it was hard. It was very hard, but I thought, no, you know, we have to have this pain before we have the pleasure, so to speak, and that pleasure is the healing and going, right, this is how we're going to do it, and that is fine as well. Like I said, it's like there is always pain in healing. There is always things that you avoided, and, you know, I just want to say it's okay. I'm not here to say, like, you know, I'm not a one-size-all-fits-all person, and we're all different in that way, and you heal in your own way, you heal in your own process, you do it in your pace. Don't give a F what people think, and do you, okay? Chapter 4. And no one warned you about this. Basically, no one warns you that healing can feel worse before it gets better, but pain is part of the process. Numbness isn't healing, feeling is, and feeling hurt. You know, it's like I said before, and I know I'm sounding like a scratch record, but no, you know, pain is part of the process, and it will, you know, get worse before it gets better. And numbness isn't healing, feeling, and the feelings hurt. It does, it really does. It's like, you know, that's how it goes. I couldn't put it simple than that. And like I say, I can't speak for other people's experience, and I won't, because it's not my story, it's not my experience. But, you know, pain is part of the process, and like I said, you will feel worse before you get better, and that is how it goes. And, you know, it may sound, oh God, it's worse, it's terrible, but it's not. And you'll feel better afterwards, however long your process and your journey to healing takes, as much as it's messy, chaotic, and, you know, is your innermost demons waking up and going, right then, let's face this, people. So, as per usual on this channel, I'm going to give you an outro and some final words. And I just want to say, you're not alone. It's messy, it's heavy. That doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're doing right. Keep going, you're not alone in this. You're not, like I said, my channel's here if you want to speak. Come in the community tab. You know, my email's there if you want to talk. Like, you know, this is me, a real human, interact with a real human. So, you know, it's there. But anyway, I am waffling as per. But, you know, thanks for watching. I appreciate you for listening. And if this has resonated with you, or you've had similar experience, or on a healing journey, please comment below if you want to. You don't have to. But yeah, or you could just share this video with somebody who needs to hear this. But anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below. And I will see you for the next one.